Tonight was supposed to be a relaxing and enjoyable night, a break from the monotony of our daily lives, a chance to let go of our worries and just enjoy ourselves. I never imagined that night would take a sudden turn and forever be etched in my memory. My name is Nigel Abigail. I've been married for 6 years. I always believed that our relationship was as strong as all couples, despite our differences, but I never imagined that she would betray me. That Halloween night proved me wrong. The truth is always brutally sudden when you least expect it. Abigail had been looking forward to this party for weeks. She marked the date in our calendar and mentioned it at every opportunity. Her friend Lauren, a yoga instructor, was hosting the party. She was well known for her elaborate Halloween parties, which turned her house into a chaotic, overcrowded, haunted attraction with smoke machines, creepy soundtracks, and packed rooms. "Are you ready?" Abigail's voice came from the bedroom as I fiddled with the frayed laces of my pirate boots. My costume was far from impressive, just an ordinary pirate outfit with a plastic sword slung at my waist and an eye patch that hardly stayed in place. "How's your costume?" I shouted, just as she finally appeared, and she giggled. I could hardly speak. Abigail had dressed as the Queen of the Vampires, and her costume left little to the imagination. A tight black corset emphasized every curve of her body, while the leather skirt climbed high up her thighs. Her heavy makeup made her look mysterious, daring, and undeniably seductive. "Wow," I managed to say, my tone somewhere between admiration and discomfort. "You look fantastic." She smiles, twirling on her high heels, a playful sparkle in her eyes. I tell her yes, it's too much. I don't think she should walk into a room full of strangers dressed like that, but I hold back. I don't want to seem controlling. No. Instead, I smile and say, "You look great." When we arrive, the party is in full swing, the music echoing around the house, mixing with the heady aroma of alcohol and pumpkin spice. Tomorrow, Lauren greets us at the door, her battered zombie bride costume made more realistic by smudged makeup and a torn veil. "Abigail, Nigel, you did it." She pulls Abigail into a hug, her eyes fixed on Abigail's costume, a sly smile on her face. "You're going to be the star of the night, girl." Abigail laughs. "Oh, come on." I gave a faint smile and pressed close to Abigail as we made our way through the crowded room. Inside, the party was wild, with deafening music, free-flowing drinks, people shouting and laughing. Abigail seemed to know everyone, easily jumping from conversation to conversation. As the hours passed, I noticed how much she had drunk and how far away she was from me. Her laughter grew louder. Her hand lingered longer than it should on someone's arm, and there was a loose, uninhibited quality to her movements that comes with too many cocktails. At some point, I completely lost track of her. Unease knotted in my stomach as I looked around for Lauren. "Have you seen Abigail?" I asked when I finally spotted her near the drinks table. Lauren looked up, shrugged, and relaxed. "Nigel, she's just being sociable. Let her enjoy herself." Her dismissive tone stung, but I didn't argue. Eventually, I found Abigail in the backyard, where she was talking to a guy in a werewolf costume. He was tall and athletic, and he walked with an arrogant confidence that made me uncomfortable. "There you are," I said, walking up to them. Abigail turned her smile into something overly bright. "Oh, hey, Ann, meet Tyler. He works with Lauren. Nice to meet you," I said, my voice becoming shrill. When I held out my hand, Tyler's grip was firm, and the smile that accompanied it made me feel uncomfortable. "Tyler had just told me that he'd been to a haunted house last week," Abigail explained casually. "Charming," I replied curtly, trying to control my anger. Abigail gave me a quick look, her smile faltering a little. "Are you okay?" "Yes, I spoke, my tone betraying me. I was just about to go back inside when she hesitated, but eventually followed. For the next hour, Abigail stayed by my side, but something was off. It felt like she was there, but not really. At midnight, Lauren announced that it was time to play Truth or Dare. I wasn't excited, but Abigail's excitement convinced me to join in. Was excited, so I was convinced to join in. The game quickly escalated, with people taking photos, revealing secrets, and being asked to do increasingly ridiculous things. When it was Abigail's turn, Lauren winked mischievously at her. "Truth or dare?" Lauren asked Abigail, smiling confidently. "Dare?" Lauren's smile grew even wider. "I dare you to kiss the most attractive person here." Cheers and whistles broke out all around. I held my breath and watched Abigail's face. She glanced at me, and I thought she was going to lean in and kiss me, ending it all with a laugh. However, before I could react, she turned to Tyler. What happened? She leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't quick, it wasn't innocent, it was deliberate, slow and overly intimate. The crowd cheered, but I sat there, frozen, my mind spinning. As Abigail pulled her eyes back, she met mine. I couldn't read her expression. "Nigel, it's just a game," she whispered, as if that would solve everything. I forced myself to let out an empty laugh, mumbling something about getting some fresh air. I squeezed my way outside, the cold air stinging my skin as anger, confusion, and humiliation swept over me. A few minutes later, Abigail appeared, her face a picture of concern. "Are you okay?" she asked tentatively. "No, I'm not," I said angrily. "What the hell was that? It was just a dare," she defended herself. "Everyone was watching. I didn't want to make things awkward." "Well, you succeeded. Now things are definitely awkward," I retorted. Sid reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "You kissed another man in front of everyone," Abigail said. "That doesn't mean anything," she insisted, her voice rising. Before I could respond, Tyler appeared in the doorway, feigning concern. "Everything's fine out here." "No, it's not," I snapped, striding towards him and telling him to mind his own damn business. "Nigel, stop it," Abigail said, stepping between us. Tyler innocently raised his hands, not meaning to intrude. He stepped back, leaving me to stare at Abigail. "This is unbelievable," I muttered. "You're overreacting," she retorted. "It's a party. Nigel, you're just jealous." "I'm going home," I said, my voice hard. Her eyes widened in disbelief. "What? Why?" "Because I don't want to pretend anymore." "It's okay," I said coldly. "You're being ridiculous," she protested. "It's just a stupid game, but I don't care anymore." I turned away and left her standing alone on the porch, still trying to justify herself. "Grab your bag," I ordered, my voice sharp. My hand gestured towards the car. "We're leaving now." Abigail didn't budge. Her stance was firm, her expression unyielding. "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here." My voice was low and dangerous. "Abigail, if you don't come home with me right now, we're finished." Her eyes narrowed. A defiant spark flickered in their depths, her chin tilted up. "You don't own me." "Nigel, if you want to leave, then go. I'm staying." I stared at her, her words weighing like a stone on my chest. "This is your choice. You choose this party, you choose him over us, over our marriage." She said nothing, and the silence hurt more than her words ever could. My voice became cold. "Fine, whatever." I turned and left the porch, my steps heavy as I walked to the car. I slid into the driver's seat, my hands shaking as I gripped the steering wheel, a flood of emotions welling up inside me: anger, betrayal, heartbreak. A few hours later, I found myself sitting alone in the living room. The house was eerily quiet, the silence mocking me as I tried to make sense of what had happened. The ringing of my phone pulled me back from my thoughts. A strange number lit up on the screen. After a pause, I answered. "Hello, this is Nigel. I'm Brad Lauren's boyfriend. We met earlier tonight." His voice was uncertain and awkward. "Yes," I answered wearily. I didn't understand why he was calling me. Brad takes a visible breath, as if to brace himself. "Look, mate, I don't know how to say this, but you need to know that Abigail and Tyler are in one of the bedrooms upstairs. The world seems to be tilting beneath me. My stomach is cramping so badly I can barely speak." "Are you sure?" But deep down I already knew the answer. "Yes, I'm sorry, Nigel, you should know that." I hung up the phone. There was no answer. My hands were shaking as I put the phone back on the table. My eyes fell on the wedding photo in the frame across the room. Our smiling faces were frozen in time. Something inside me snapped. I grabbed the frame and threw it against the wall, echoing around the room, but not loud enough to drown out the pain. Instinctively, I go to the closet and take out the folder containing our marriage documents. The relics of those promises and vows are meaningless now. I tear them up one by one, ripping our lives to shreds. The silence in the house becomes unbearable, like a heavy weight pressing down on me. I grab a bag, fill it with clothes, and leave. I can't stay there. The hotel I check into feels cold and impersonal, but at least I'm not haunted by memories of her. I opened my laptop on the small table in the corner of the room and logged into our joint bank account, transferring every last dollar into my personal account. She had no right to any cent after what she had done. That night, I refused to sleep. Eli lay on the stiff mattress as my mind replayed everything over and over again. Anger, disbelief, sadness. An endless cycle that didn't stop until morning. My phone started ringing non-stop. Non-stop. Abigail. I didn't answer at first, but eventually I did. My voice was hollow. Nigel, where are you? Her voice was panicked and desperate. I woke up and you were gone. What happened? I gave a bitter laugh. You really asked me if I stayed at the party? I told you what it would mean if I stayed. Then you went upstairs with Taylor. There was a long silence on her end, and then she spoke at last. Her voice was small. Who told you? Does it matter? I shot back coldly. The truth is the truth, Nigel, please, she whispers. I made a mistake. I love you. We can fix this. No, I reply, my tone leaving no room for doubt. You've ruined everything, Abigail, and now you have to live with that. I hang up the phone before she can say another word. A few days later, I return to the house to collect my things. It no longer feels like my home, just an empty place, echoing with the sound of betrayal. As I pull into the driveway, I notice a car I don't recognize parked outside. My intuition told me that the sounds coming from the bedroom terrified me. My back went cold and my feet felt heavy as I walked up the stairs. Fear turned to certainty. I pushed open the door and there they were, Abigail and Tyler entwined on the bed we used to share. What the hell was going on? My voice trembled with anger and disbelief, each word full of rage. Abigail froze, her face pale. Nigel, I didn't mean for you to see this. My hands trembled. My vision grew blurry. Anger surged. This is what you call a mistake. This is your regret. Taylor hurriedly covered himself, but I ignored him. I took out my phone and took a picture of the scene as evidence of her betrayal, cold and irrefutable. I'll give you 2 days, I said, my voice cold. 2 days, pack your things and get out. If you're still here, I'll have the police evict you. Don't disrespect me in my own home. Abigail stared at me, her face written over with guilt and an unhealed wound that had left its mark. Betrayal taught me a lesson I will never forget. Love is not enough without trust, loyalty and respect. Love is an illusion. Every Halloween, I remember the night my world fell apart. But it was also the night I found the strength to leave someone who didn't deserve me. For that, I will always be grateful. And that's the end of the story. If you like it, please click like and subscribe to the channel.